Welcome back to Colster's Corner. As I've been reading through social media, I've seen a lot of teachers doubting themselves about their profession, whether they're good at it, whether they're imposters. I want to talk about that for a minute as to whether you're an imposter or not, or suffer from imposter syndrome. So let's go. Essentially, all of this reminds me of an athlete I coached years ago. Anyone who knows me knows that one of my favorite things to do is coach powder puff football. It is the perfect amount of football, 10 practices, one game, and gives me my football coaching fix for the year. It's perfect. But I was coaching that game, and in my opinion, maybe the most athletic, talented player on the team was having a rough day. She was playing safety. The other team was picking on her. They threw three completions at her. So I called timeout because I could see she was losing her confidence. And I said, "Hey, Christina," said, "literally, you're the best we have. At this position, you've earned this position. It's your position. And if you go down, we'll go down with you. But you need to understand, I'm not going to pull you out. I'm not going to replace you. This is your position. And you're the best we have. And you got this." I don't yell when I'm coaching. I don't throw chairs or any of that stuff. People who do that are idiots. But I just walked out and gave her a vote of confidence and said, "I believe in you, and you believe in you." And the next play, I kid you not, no exaggeration, she literally picked off the ball. They came back at her. She intercepted it, and it was great. The rest of the game, she shut down their receivers perfectly. The reason I'm sharing that story is the same thing is true with you, is that you didn't get this position by luck. You earned this position. You're supposed to be in this position. Your college professors moved you along and passed you. And if you made A's or B's, they really endorsed you, saying you're going to be a good teacher someday. The administration that you interviewed with, they chose you. You interviewed probably with some assistant principals or a principal. You may have gone through multiple interviews. You're the best they had. Of all the candidates that you competed against, they selected you. So remember those things, is that we're invested in you. The admin's invested in you. The college professors are invested in you. You just have to believe in you. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in a little while. So again, the moral of this story is believe in yourself. You didn't get this by luck. You earned this. And what you're really suffering from isn't imposter syndrome. You're basically a rookie. You're a rookie in the hardest profession that I can possibly think of. And I'm going to talk about that too. So continue watching. I'll give you some strategies and let you know that yes, you belong being a teacher. You've earned this spot. You're the best we have. Move forward with it. Here's the truth as to why you're struggling. It's not that you're an imposter. It's that teaching is one of the most complex professions in the world. I cannot think of a profession that is more complex than teaching. Even surgery is less complex than teaching. And with surgery, typically you'll have several other experts in the room to help guide you through any particular issues you might run into. So the key term being is that it's a profession. And we're tasked with doing the impossible every day. When I was in college, I took a leadership and development course, and I remember them talking about that in the military, typically you'll have six direct reports. The reason being is that you can manage six people effectively. Once you start getting above six, it becomes much more difficult and complex. And in my second job, where I'm a medical pharmaceutical sales recruiter, typically most managers in the private sector manage anywhere from 7 to 9 direct reports. Very rarely do I see anybody go over 10 direct reports because it's so difficult. So we're tasked with managing over 20, usually 25 to 30 kids per class. And if you're a high school teacher, you may end up with over 100. I had a year where I had 210 students that I was responsible for. Now I'm responsible for understanding how they learn, what's going on in their personal lives, figuring out strategies to teach each and every one of them. That is literally impossible when you have 210 direct reports that you're responsible for. So it's not that you're an imposter, it's that you are literally jumping into the most complex profession in the world. It's an absolute challenge to be able to do these things. But over time, you'll get there. and you'll do what we do. We're heroes, and what we do is literally impossible. And I've heard that from several private sector members. One of my favorite things to do is invite guest speakers in from the private sector, because when I do it, literally halfway through the day, not even halfway through the day, they are typically exhausted and they just shake their heads and they're like, how do you do that? So not only are we responsible for sometimes over 100 direct reports, but we also get 6-minute breaks in between. What you do is damn near impossible, and you remember that. So it's very rewarding, and you're literally one of the most talented people in the world if you're able to do this. And I believe you are. There's a bunch of college professors, there are administrators, all of these people have endorsed you. It's a matter of accepting that you are now taking on literally one of the most complex, challenging professions in the world, and the most important. Not only are you entering the most important profession, most challenging profession, you're dealing with the most complex product. What do I mean by that? We're not building cabinets. We're not directing traffic. We're not putting together investment portfolios. Every single person that we're dealing with is different and has different needs, different challenges, and needs different strategies to be used to bring excellence out of that product. So it's more like being an artist. So you're becoming an artist, and what you're doing right now is learning strategies to identify what needs to be done with each piece of art and strategies to use to bring excellence out of each piece of art. That's not going to happen overnight. It occurs with experience and time. And so you need to give yourself time to become an expert at using these strategies. Again, every single person that we're dealing with is different. It's very complex and more like an art than it is actually creating a product that where you have repetition, where you can go over and over and over and use the same strategy. So for the newer teachers, first, second, possibly third year teachers watching this, understand that you're a talented rookie. You can't expect somebody who's a rookie to essentially go perform surgery without anybody standing around helping coach them. Using a sports analogy, back to my football analogy, look at rookie quarterbacks, and their job is not as complex as teaching. There are only a finite number of defenses out there that they have to learn to dissect to become effective. With us, there's an infinite number of problems that students present. So embrace your humanity, understand there's a learning curve, and that there's a bunch of people that believe in you. I can't reiterate that enough. Your college professors believe in you, your APs believe in you, your principals believe in you. You're the best we have, and it's going to take time. Just like a rookie quarterback, it usually takes them 2 or 3 years before they can dissect defenses. And like I said, there's a finite number of defenses that you have to go up against. With student issues, there's an infinite number of issues you're going to run into. So embrace your humanity, understand there's a learning curve, and you got this, man. As a rookie or as a newer player, first, second, or third year teacher, these are things you can do to increase your chances of having success. Ask for coaching. I know nobody wants an administrator in their room, feels awkward, but if you can build up enough trust, I had just a world-class administrator my first few years. She was terrific, and I didn't feel threatened by her. She could come in and coach me up, and I would accept that coaching. And she was so good at coaching, and it's so rare to find that in administrators, to where there's somebody who will coach you up in a non-evaluatory fashion. But if you can develop that relationship with a assistant principal, go for it. The other thing you can do is talk to mentor teachers, teachers who've been doing it for a while. Ask them if they can come in during their plan and coach you up a little bit in a non-evaluatory fashion. You can also go watch, pick out a few teachers that have great reputations, that are talented. Watch them in their classroom and see how they perform, and ask them questions. Teachers love that when people come up and ask them, because they know they're investing in the future of America. You can also self-coach. Record yourself. Again, it's like fingernails on a chalkboard, watching yourself, coaching yourself after recording yourself. But it's another way that you can help self-coach yourself. Ask students for feedback. Ask them their thoughts. How could you do things better? That's what I did my first couple of years. In addition to having a great assistant principal, I would ask my students for feedback and ask them how they would do it or how I could do better. Accept your humanity. You're flawed. You're new. You're going to struggle. Um, Understand we're invested in you. There's a lot of people invested in you. Accept there's going to be mistakes. And if you're a perfectionist, this is going to be hard for you. But it's all about the process, the growth. Um, just accept that you're human and you're going to make mistakes and you're going to continue to learn. Make mistakes, keep them small, learn from them. Don't make career-ending mistakes, but you're going to make lots of mistakes and learn from them. Try different strategies, trial and error, see what works and what doesn't. I'm going to spend some time and make a video about the growth process of teachers. I think there's probably several stages we all go through when we start teaching, and all of us, our first and second year, are just wondering whether we're cut out for it, whether we're an imposter, or what's going on. That is normal. You're going to doubt yourself. You're going to run into some challenges. Understand people aren't invested in you. All right, so first year is survival mode. Basically, first year sucks. It's tough. At the end of the day, um, just staying a couple chapters ahead of the students is the ideal thing you can do. They're going to ask you questions you don't know the answers to. Eventually, that won't become a problem because you'll understand what the questions are going to be. My solution to that was I would tell students, look, I don't know the answer, but if you look it up and teach me, you get extra credit. You're going to struggle with keeping up with your lesson plans, but if you do them correctly and save them to a program like Excel, you can take them and use them as a skeleton for the following year, making it much easier for you. You're going to struggle with classroom management strategies. All of these things are normal. Eventually, you're going to learn from all of them and you're going to overcome them. The first 2 or 3 years is definitely a process. Look at the evolution of my videos. It's one of those things, if you look at my video, the first video I ever shot, compared to where I am now, it's night and day. It's not even close. But it's a growth process. That's what life is. It's a growth process. That's what teaching is. It's a growth process. It's all about the process, about try to get a little bit better every day. And then 2 or 3 years into it, you will become very, very proficient, very confident. All right, this is the most important thing. This is what I want you to take out of this presentation. There are a bunch of people who believe in you and who are invested in you. Your college professor signed off on you. If you made A's and B's, they endorsed you. And your assistant principals chose you out of all of the people that interviewed for this position. Your principal signed off and chose you as well. All of these people are invested. You're the best we have. So you're going to run into issues. It's going to be a challenge. Think about those poor rookie quarterbacks. At least you don't have a 300-pound lineman who wants to knock you out and put you out of the game. In this particular case, you have a group of people who they may not be as visible as all of us would like them to be, but they do endorse you and they are resources for you. So all of these people have signed off on you. You just have to believe in you and accept your humanity. Understand you're going to make mistakes, that you're dealing with literally the most complex, challenging profession that there is. So yes, you're going to make mistakes. In using football terms, you're going to get picked off and intercepted sometimes. And sometimes it's going to be a really bad day. But dust yourself off. Always try to get better. Focus on the growth. Focus on the process. And I promise you, you invest in yourself 2 or 3, 4 years later, you will be very, very proud and satisfied of what you've become. You've become a hero. The other thing I would tell you is after this video, I recommend you watch the video I talk about, a tribute to teachers as being heroes. I'll put a link to it. But that's who you are. You're a hero doing something that literally not very many people can do what we do. It's an incredible responsibility, and it's incredibly powerful, and it's the most important job in the world. You got this, man. You got this. A lot of people believe in you. You just need to dust yourself off and believe in yourself.